Hi guys, and welcome back to Tommy Starcraft. This is your host Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay for you guys. Once again we have a great engagement here and great internal clan war here in between Gornach and Scan. This game has been played in the year 2020, so a very recent replay here we have. And actually I'm going to be casting two games here of Scan, in which he's going to face off against 2xZERGs. Now let me just start by introducing the players to you guys, as we have spawning here in the upper left in the light green it is Gornach. And his opponent here at the 6 o'clock position in the light blue it is Scan. So Terran versus Zerg it is here on this great map. Sadly I did forget the name of the map, but I believe it is a 3 spawning location map in here. So yeah, let's just see exactly what is going to happen in here. If Scan is going to go into a bio build order, is he perhaps going to choose a mechanical build order, and at the same time what is Gornach going to prepare here for us? Perhaps it's going to into a Zergling rush, it could be a possibility. Some lurkers could be a possibility. Mutalisk of course are always nice against the turn. Now currently Scan opening up here pretty standard with his supply depot, and Gornach yet no buildings at all yet. He's actually sitting at 9 workers against the 10 workers here from Scan. There is his overlord as he's producing even more and more workers in here, so still no spawning pool yet here for him. This one overlord is heading into the wrong direction, sorry, and in comes another drone for scouting purposes, and perhaps this drone is going into a hatchery as the other drone goes now here into scouting. So no scouting yet here from Scan, as he went into gas and barracks, or barracks first and then gas. So interesting build order up here by him. Very clumped up together buildings, so no intention to build them a little bit far outside, as slowly but steadily the Zerg will of course now know where exactly Scan is, where exactly the location here from Scan is, as Scan still does not know where exactly Gornach, his clan opponent, is hiding here on the map. So here we go, drone comes into the main, sees the barracks, sees this second supply depot in here, sees that the gas was very fast made in here, as the first marines will also pop out really soon in here, and Scan might go for a factory now, or perhaps a second barracks. Let's just see exactly what he has chosen, as the first marine is going to chase this drone off. It's actually a factory in here for Scan, so no intention into fast expansion here from Scan. He's going straight into a barracks, into factory. There we have the fast expansion in here for Gornach. There is his spawning pool, pretty late spawning pool, but then again he's opting to go of course for a more macro oriented game here, for a more perhaps economic advantage here against Scan in here. Scan interesting enough lifting up here his barracks, perhaps for some scouting purposes into this location, as his first two marines are also here out on the map. So yeah, let's just see what exactly is Scan going to be doing. Perhaps he's just going to, actually his SCV did made it here, sorry about this one guys, he did send the scouting SCVs of course, and he sees that there is not that much here to defend here for the Zerg, so this is exactly why he feels confident to move out here with 2 marines into this location. Gornach reacting of course with a sunken, soon to be sunken in here, but the marines will actually make it here much faster, and there's just 2 Zerglings in here, but of course some drones can be pulled. However, Gornach wishing here to defend the ledge as the sunken is out, so Scan of course knowing now that he has to abandon these units in here. So very nice defensive timing here for Gornach against Scan. Very beautiful color here chosen by Scan. This light blue looks really nice on the Terran units, as the first vulture is also here out on the map. Is he perhaps going to snipe some drones? It will be very hard with this sunken here, or perhaps he's just going to plant some mines into this position. Let's see, actually a Hydralisk then first and a Spire, so this is very interesting here for the Zerg, perhaps fooling here Scan a little bit, placing this Hydralisk then in the front, but then again there's also a nice hidden Spire here in the back, and Scan I'm pretty sure doesn't have a Scan yet, as he's going into more factories in here, also deciding here to make his expansion, as the overlord is slowly but steadily coming in here. Scan of course reacting, sending some marines in here, and it's going to be very interesting to see what exactly the Zerg is going for. Is it going to be some Hydralisk with some lurkers? It would be a possibility. No units yet being spawned, and just an overlord in here. Pretty good drone count in here by the Zerg. 20 drones, and we also see this nice parked vulture in here by Scan as we have passed the 5-minute mark in here. So Scan is of course going to see this macro hatch, is going to see this Hydralisk Den, and he will very likely expect some Hydralisk. Let's just see his reaction. His upgrades are going off. He's actually upgrading those Goliaths. Actually, he's building Goliaths in here, so really interesting stuff in here. I think that Scan is expecting some Mutalisk, even though there is a Hydralisk Den here in the front. And yeah, let's have a look what exactly he's going for. He's actually going for some Mutalisk. So Scan, perhaps knowing already here Gornach, expects some Mutalisk gameplay here and reacting really fast with those Goliaths in here. So the range has been upgraded. The weapons 1 upgrades is also being done in here by Scans, and also the flyer carapace is also being upgraded here by the Zerg. So both players really giving much importance of course towards those early upgrades. Scan even placing some turrets here, defensively turrets, so he's really expecting some Mutalisk gameplay in here by Gornach. Even 2 nice placed turrets into this position as the first Mutalisk. Here they are out on the map, just securing here this expansion from Gornach, the second expansion here, as the first Mutalisk are really going now out on the map. So no Hydralisk into lurkers in here for Gornach, is going straight into Mutalisk, interesting enough. But Scan should be of course ready for this with his turrets and of course with his Goliaths in here. One SCV has been sniped, the second SCV is being sniped, so Gornach doing a great harassment in here. But now he sees those Goliaths, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be a little bit more careful. There's 7 Mutalisk already here at the 7-minute mark, and he even sniped 2 SCV. He might snipe another SCV in here, but we're also taking so much damage in here, so he has to be careful. Those Goliaths are really strong anti-air here, as he perhaps going to try to find a better position here for his Mutalisk. This would be good, but then again it's already 2 turrets in here, and Scan even leaving these two Goliaths in here. So nice spread here by those Goliaths in here. Mass Goliaths it is in here for Scan. Very interesting strategy here by him. So no bio, no marines in here for him, it's just mass Goliaths. Let's just see exactly if this is going to work out here for him, as he's even upgrading here the infantry. For weapons 1 infantry, it is going to be here 2 factories with 4 barracks in here. What an interesting build order. Very rare to see something like this. Let's just check here the main from the Zerg. Nothing out of the ordinary, just a spire, just a Hydralisk Den, and of course those upgrades for those Hydras. So he might transition into some Hydras in here, as his Mutalisks are still not being able to deal so much economic damage here against the Terran. So yeah, Scan looking very much confident here with his Goliaths, as he's turtling up here into his main and into his expansion. Gornach still tries to get some good connections here with his Mutalisk, but they are so much hurt in here, so he will perhaps try something else. He's still building Mutalisk, he's still going for some Hydralisk. Steam is being upgraded, and let's just see if Gornach can snipe some SCVs into this location in here, as he's once again taking so much damage in here. But the worker count looks really good here for the Zerg. 34 workers versus the 36 here for Scan. And look at all of those Hydras in here. These Hydras could of course be morphed into lurkers really soon. So let's have a look when exactly, or if this is going to happen in here by the Zerg, as there's pretty much good map awareness here for the Zerg. But hold on, we actually have a very strong army move out here by Scan with many Marines and many Goliaths in here. So interesting army composition here by Scan, showing us a nice tactic here against Zerg. But let's just see if this is going to work out here for him. There's so many Hydralisk in here, so many Mutalisk, and even Sunkens here in the back. So yet another Sunken is being built here. So nice timing push here by Scan, as he's reaching here the expansion at the 10-minute mark, and 1 Hydralisk already fallen. So here we go, a great engagement in here, great anti-air. The Mutalisk will stand no chance, and the Marines here have Stim. Still so much damage being taken by both players. Marines have fallen. Now it's just Goliaths with a couple of Marines in here. Reinforcements are coming in here for the Zerg, and I don't know if Scan has enough. Actually, he is still staying here into this location. Somehow he made it happen in here, as he's snapping those overlords now And is he going to push through? Nice scan here by Scan as he sees now everything. And those Goliaths look very much tanky here, even those medics are nicely healing them. One Hydralisk will be punished in here as more and more reinforcements are now coming in here for the Terran, and a bad rally here for the Zerg, so both players did suffer quite some damage, but in the end Scan is now perhaps going to wait for his reinforcements to reach displacement. Nice Sunkens, of course Sunken's a good answer against this build order here, as there are no tanks in here, so I think that the Zerg will add even more and more Sunkens in here. And yes, he's still waiting now. Let's just check, it should be one weapons upgrade for the Marines and for the Goliaths, and we also should have one weapons upgrade here for those Hydras, as Scan is perhaps going to reach this location in here, not that much being defended. Oh no, he's actually going straight here into the first expansion point in here, or perhaps he's just going to wait here a little bit longer. He could transition into some tanks, it would be a possibility here for him. He's still roaming around waiting here, there's 2, even 3 Sunkens in here, and it would be interesting to see if he's going to choose to attack in here. Actually he's waiting for more and more to come in here, and he might go for this location. It will be a good attack point in here, as there's just so much Zerg here into this position, and the lurker ability is finally being done in here, but Scan should have a scan in here. There it is, the scan, and another scan in here, so Scan now at 100, almost 120 supply versus the 70 supply here by the Zerg, but a nice defense being prepared here by the Zerg as the first lurkers are being spawned. And here we go, Scan is moving forward with his Marines, with his medics. The Goliaths are a little bit behind, yet the Marines are dealing so much damage now against those Sunkens. Finally the Hydras are getting good connections here against those Marines. Still the Goliaths in the back don't get any connections, and now finally they will target those lurkers down. Lots of splash damage here against Scan, as many more Hydras have fallen here. Those medics are really doing miracles here, just healing everyone up here. And things look really strong now here by Scan, as the Zerg has fallen to 50 supply. More is being spawned here by him, but now even the workers are being attacked. There come those lurkers in from the back. Does Scan have another scan in here? Yes, he needs to be careful. But then again, Gornach just leaves the game, given the fact that Scan here shows his presence, just already sniped those workers, sniped this hatchery, and is pretty soon going to snipe the other hatchery. So really interesting build order, interesting strategy here by Scan shown to us. Medics into Marines, into Goliaths, so no siege tanks yet. There is this one siege tank, this lone siege tank in here. So interesting stuff here, very nice anti-air. Now let's just go into game number 2, guys. Like I told you guys, it's going to be a 2 game in here from Scan against Zergs. Let me just look for that second replay in here. This it should be Scan versus Truta KZ. Now here we go, as the spawning here in the lower right, in the orange it is Scan, and in the lower left in the white it is Truta KZ. I believe Truta is from the Czech Republic, given the fact that he has that KZ in the back. I could be wrong, of course. So it's South Korea versus Europe versus the Czech Republic, as they're talking here about the mouse, where sadly I don't have that much info about this, given the fact that I'm not that of a skilled Starcraft player. So here we go, once again Terran versus Zerg. If you're a Terran player, this could be a nice lesson for you here, presented by Scan. But then again, Truta is also known to be a very strong and skilled Zerg player in here. So I believe they're spawning here on force 4 spawning location. Fighting Spirit it should be, I could be wrong, but yeah, it's 4 spawning location. And let's just see once again the build order here by Scan. He's opening up here with a supply depot, and let's just check now what Truta is going to go, as he also has a nice skin here for his hatchery. Just like I told you guys, these games have been played in the year 2020, so pretty soon replays in here, so nothing old, like we've seen also many old replays here on this channel. Pretty standard stuff here. And look at that, Truta actually going here for a fast spawning location in here, then goes into an overload, and many more drones in here for him. So interesting build order, completely different than the first build order by Gornach here, as he's spawning more and more drones in here. Sadly his overload goes into the wrong direction. Second overload just goes a little bit more middle, just to have much map awareness. And there's even a scouting drone, I believe it is, yes, at the 2-minute mark. Like we've seen in previous replay, the 2-minute mark in here is the pointer, is the timer when most pros move out their workers just to check the map where exactly everyone is hiding. We also have scan here with his barracks, pretty standard stuff here, supply depot into barracks, and many more workers in here. Now Truta also might go for his expansion into this point. He's saving up here for this expansion, so here we go. Spawning pool into expansion it is, and many more workers are being spawned. Scan really wishing to know exactly where Truta is, so he sends out even a second SCV in here. So yeah, let's just see. Truta finally finds out here where Scan is hiding. The first Marines are being produced, and pretty soon Scan should be able to see this expansion if he's not getting surrounded here by those Zerglings. So he needs to be careful, just micro this SCV a little bit back in here, as this drone could have blocked here the SCV a little bit. But there is of course a second SCV here into this position. Oh yeah, Scan retreating here might get blocked here a little bit. He needs to be careful. His ramp should be blocked. There is his ramp, and that bunker nicely finishing here on time for Scan. One SCV taking some good damage in here. Gets however repaired. No, actually gets just blocked in here. So Scan with a great timing defense in here, just to fend off those Zerglings. And I believe he could prepare here his expansion, perhaps build it into this location in here. Let's just see what his options are going to be, as we have a nice macro hatch here by Truta. So let's just see what he's going for. Tier 2 hasn't been upgraded yet here by him. So yeah, just going to park once again his Zerglings here into this position, and actually Scan wishes here to expand straight into this location, even walling in here off nicely with a supply depot. So yeah, Truta is retreating. There comes Scan's SCV, sees now the tier 2 upgrade, sees that macro hatch, so he pretty much knows the build order. He knows what is up. He just has to wait. Is it going to be Mutalisk once again? Is it going to be Hydralisk with Lurkers? That is always the question here for the Terran. Yeah, this SCV is of course going to try to stay as long as possible into this location, just to see exactly what the next building is going to be here, like I told you, Spire or Hydralisk. Then it's always the question. Scan still not going for his scan here into his main expansion, almost ready. More workers here for Scan, 23 workers versus the only 19 workers here for the Zerg, as the Zerg perhaps prepares here to place some defenses. No, he's actually just going straight into mining, and we have a nice hidden building here. It's actually Hydralisk then here, nicely being hidden. So this might be Lurkers first here for Truta, but it could also be a pulling around here by Truta. He might add a Spire perhaps into this location. So we just are about to find out, and this is exactly why Scan leaves here his SCV, just to see exactly what that second building is going to be, but it's getting nicely blocked here by Truta. So yeah, the SCV can't gather this information, can't see that Hydralisk then, and actually Truta going here for a Lurker rush. So very interesting stuff here for him. No Spire, he's just going straight into Hydralisk with Lurkers. They are of course very strong against Marines, even strong against Goliaths. And actually Scan is now building his third, his second, his third and his fourth barracks in here. So mass bio it is. Of course steam is going to be researched, some medics are being produced. But then again, Truta has the great counter here against bio. He has those Lurkers, and there is no detection yet here being left for Scan, as we have passed the 5-minute mark in here. So very interesting game we have in here. Both players are turtling up here a little bit, so no great engagement yet here. The first Hydralisk are here out on the map, and let's just see when exactly they will be morphed into Lurkers, as many more Zerglings are being added, and even more Hydralisk in here. So yeah, let's just see what exactly. There it is. There is a spawning point here for those Lurkers. Even more Lurkers into this position, and many Zerglings in here for Truta. Actually Scan is attacking here his own station. I don't know really why. Perhaps at the same time he's repairing it and then killing it. This is very interesting. Perhaps you guys know why he did it. Maybe he's going to rebuild it to have more energy. This could be a possibility, but it's very, very uncommon what I've seen. Of course, could have killed this Comstat here at the same time. Now let's just see, he's actually feeling confident to move out, but there are so many lurkers in here, and Truta will get a nice surround in here. There are some fire bats here being added. The Scan tries to find the higher ground, of course, and he will get good connections. At the same time, those lurkers will also kill many marines in here. So Scan now knows exactly what he's up to. His marines are pretty much hurt, and he's once again being surrounded in here, so he has to steam back here at home. Really good job here by those medic, once again healing those units, but in the end the lurkers once again will have to fend off Scan in here. Scan, however, kiting those marines really nicely. He's taking damage, but at the same time he's also sniping here these lurkers, so interesting stuff in here. Good scan now here by Scan, so these lurkers will be exposed. One has fallen, the second one as well, and the third is being sniped here by Scan, so really nice job in here. Kiting those marines, like I told you guys, just doesn't engage, just kites them back and then waits for his reinforcements in here. So this was a really good job here by Truta. Nice strategy, but Scan, with his great micro, with his great movement here, is able to fend this off, and this lurker might be on hold position. Oh, he's actually dealing massive splash damage now. So Scan still has to wait. Perhaps he's going for some detection, for some turrets. There is his starport, so he might go for some science vessels. It could be a possibility. Those science vessels was much needed just to detect here the lurkers here from Truta. So Truta still staying here on this strategy. Actually, is going for his tier 3, so we might see some ultralisk in here by him. So we might see some defilers here by him with Dark Swarm. Dark Swarm covers even a better counter here against those marines. As once again Scan is holding here his position in the back. He has 10 more workers here than the Zerg. And yeah, let's just see what exactly is going to be the plan here from Truta. There is a defiler mount, so we're going to see some defilers, of course. And interestingly enough, he's actually also expanding, he's actually also upgrading here his tier 2. Very interesting stuff here by him, and also adding a creep colony into this location, so really out of the ordinary. And Scan has also added here a tank. I'm pretty sure he's going for some science vessel. There's that science vessel, and some tanks and mass bio AD, so the pretty standard stuff here by the Terran. Against those lurkers, you really need that science vessel just to detect them. Slowly but steadily we're closing in at a 10-minute mark in here. I still don't know why he did this tier 2 upgrade, perhaps you guys know it. And tier 3 it is, also sunken here into this position. Also interesting option here by Truta. And then there are even another sunken in here, so he's preparing here his defenses against Scan. Perhaps he feared a drop, so this is why he went for some sunkens here into his main. And there is Scan just holding here his position, waiting for his reinforcements, and perhaps really soon he's going to push out. There is his science vessel. Nice placed lurkers in here. But there are siege tank, and these lurkers will of course be detected by this science vessel. So here we go, slowly but steadily Scan is moving out. One lurker already really hurt in here for Truta. So Truta perhaps needs some scourges just to fend off this attack, or perhaps some mutalisk just to kill these science vessels. At the same time he's preparing perhaps a counter here into this position. So Scan needs to be careful, or perhaps he's just going for a surround here, luring Scan into a trap. But this one tank has found the enemy line. A nice irradiate here and here, and Scan has to siege up here. He's a little bit surrounded into this position. His reinforcements are into this position, and Truta just does a really nice job in here. Scan is not waiting, he's going straight into steaming in here. Truta comes in from the back, so really hard situation here for Scan as he's being surrounded. Now he's sniping those lurkers, but there's still lurkers here into this position. Also much splash damage in here, but somehow Scan does hold, and not only that he holds, he is able to push here forward. There is this one defiler a little bit late here on the action, so with this defiler of course it would have been a different outcome, but then again the defiler very late, and this means that Scan is going to of course take this game. So really nice stuff in here. At one point I thought he would lose all of his units, given the fact that he was surrounded, but in the end he microed those marines back, killed the lurker from the back, and then microed them forward to kill the ones from the front. Now let's just check a little bit those stats if you guys are interested. Once again, I'm going to be clicking left and right. Truta even having more of a score here against Scan. Good APM by both players. So yeah, really interesting series here by Scan versus 2xZERGs pros. Hope once again that you guys have enjoyed these replays as much as I did. I'll be seeing you of course in the next replays. This is Tommy signing out.